admitting the honesty and being
Yeah.
like, okay, I love coke. I love coke.
And that's exactly what you said to your mum.
That's exactly what I
I
said
love
to
you.
Mum.
I love
I was like, Mum, I love coke. So I'd say flirt with her, because you never know. You never know where it could go. I would say fight with marmalade.
Okay.
And forget the other one.
Oh, any
What's
reason?
her name?
Any reason for that?
What's her name? No, just because it's the vibes. There are the three options.
Get ready for this spoonful. Hello everyone, it is me Actavia and welcome to another episode of The Spoonful, where I get to dive much deeper into our very special guests' lives. So our very special guest today is many things. She's, oh my god, I thought I was going to say autistic then. Let me try that again. So our very special guest is many things. She is Austrian royalty. She's the richest woman or man, and a beautiful, natural ginger from Drag Race UK6. My sister, it is Chanel. How are you, my love?
Hi, I'm so good. How are you?
I'm good. What have you been up to?
Well, darling, today is today's a me day, and today was a day where I had to learn choreography. So that's why I look like this. And you know me, I love to learn choreography.
So the preface of the show is basically just to have a bloody laugh, but what I like to do is kind of go back to the start a little bit. So what I want to know is, what was little Chanel like, or little Connor, shall I say?
Oh, I was a little shit, which is like kind of, I'm a little shit now. So it's kind of, nothing's changed. I was like quite a little class clown. But what always helped was like, my mother was the headmistress of my school because I grew up on an island, so it was very small.
I did read that, yeah.
And vibe was that I just never got into trouble because I just knew how to play the system. Because I would be like, if someone came up to me like, "You're a fag," I'd be like, "Do you want to die?"
That is actually so funny because I literally was like, just do my research. And I didn't know that about you. I didn't know that your mum was the school teacher. So that was literally my question.
What do you mean research? Did you?
Yeah, bitch, I do my research. I do my research.
You Googled.
Yeah, I
love
Googled.
that.
Because obviously you are from Isle of Bute.
Yes.
So that's quite a small island.
Yes, it is. It's very small. It's about 4,000 people live on it.
Jesus Christ.
So it's really, it's very much the energy of everybody knows everyone. It's the gay village of the straight world in that way. You know,
oh, okay,
we walk down
right.
Gay Village.
Yes.
We know who works in that bar. We've slept with that person. We've been over there. Whereas same with I think on Bute. I've slept with that person. We've been in that bar. You know, it's the same vibe.
Well, that was actually one of my questions because yes, I did my research, and that your mum was a teacher. So did you not really go through like the whole typical thing of being gay and like bullying? Do you think that was because of your mum?
Oh no, I still got like little bits of bullying, but the fabulous thing was that like, cause I was cool.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, "Oh, he's just, leave him to it." But and like, this is the one thing. I believe comedy is a currency.
Right.
And with comedy and with how you like hold yourself, if you're funny, you can genuinely get away with murder. So all the boys who were like the bullying type were like, "Nah, but he's funny."
Who else has said that? I swear, like, I'm not even just saying this because you're both Scottish, but didn't Lawrence say something like that at one point?
Probably.
But no, it makes total sense because, like, for me,
because you got bullied.
I got bullied, but also...
Notice how I didn't say, "Did you?"
But I got bullied because...
Looking at you, you got bullied.
But with you, it's like, you're so quick-witted. So, like, not that, do you think that came from bullying, but I'm not. Like, I'm not as quick-witted as, like, you are. So have you, like, kind of always been like that?
It's taken time, but my quick-wittedness has changed and how it's...
Your quick-witted...
But, like, being quick-witted always comes from, like, definitely situations.
Yeah.
So when it comes to, like, bullying, you have to be quick. You have to be ready.
Yeah.
We always say this in Scotland. It's kind of that thing down here, which I've learned. You have to be ready to fight. Like, as a queer person, I think you have to be ready.
Oh, yeah, completely.
If someone, like, says something in, like, if you're walking past, there is nothing that will stop me turning around and being like, "What did you say?"
Do you know what? It's so, like, funny because I feel like with me, I'm kind of the opposite, only because I don't know how fast the situation can escalate.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I know with Chara, she's very much like,
oh,
she'll reply.
She'll
Have you
reply.
ever had, like, been in the position where, like, you've actually fully been hate crime and it's kind of, like, shaking you up, or, like, what,
Oh my
like, what's the
God.
worst that's happened?
The craziest thing that's ever happened to me was I was in a McDonald's once.
Right.
the local Waitrose was shut, so our options were limited. Caviar service and champagne service stopped. And the local Ivy, so we had to go further afoot. So we went to McDonald's and we're sitting there, and it's like a few of us. There was a few drag queens. I'd say like two, and a couple gay boys and me. And I was sitting with my back to the door, first mistake. And someone ran past and snatched my wig off me and ran out the door.
Oh my God.
And I sat there, taped everything, bald.
Did you do anything? Like, did you run after them?
Well, like I was in such a shock that, I just I didn't know what to do. But luckily, a lesbian, and you can always trust a lesbian for this because they get jobs done. We should honestly, very true. So a lesbian, I didn't see it, but a lesbian ran after him, and the next thing you know, like 2 minutes later, came back with the wig in hand and was like, "I return this to you." And ever since then, I have just been like so cautious.
Yeah.
Because like people see us as like clowns.
Oh yeah, completely.
So like they forget there's like a person behind it. So it's very much the thing of, if you set a boundary, it's really good. If you've been in a situation, I've been in situations where people have like maybe been inappropriate in a club or things like that.
Yeah.
And it's our job
to
completely remind those people, hey, don't touch me like that. We're not going to.
The other day, me and Zahira were working out in Village, and literally this man like came this close to my face and hers and was like, "You're gay," and it's like, and you're also in the gay village. So like, if you don't like it, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
And like a few weeks ago, I was like fully out of drag, like fully daytime, like did look like a fucking mess because I had no eyebrows and blah blah blah. And someone literally, I know, was outside Canal Street, and Roger was taking photos of their partner. So just on the other side of the street, and we sat down, and someone came to my face and was like, "Do you smoke?" And I was like, I went like this, and I was like, "No, I'm good." And he literally was smoking a doob or whatever it was, and like tapped it on me. So like the ash fell on me, and I went, I didn't say anything because I was literally like so caught off guard, and I was like, "What the hell?" And I literally looked at him, and he goes, "Have you got a problem?" And this was like, bearing in mind, I was on a corner. So then the second he said, "Do you have a problem?" 2 other guys came over around the corner, and they were literally like
threesome, ready to go.
I was literally sat here, bearing in mind, like little old me, like crouched down, and they were just in front of me here. And I was like, oh my God, I'm just going to get up, just because if I say anything, they could literally do anything. Like they have me crowded. And then they just started shouting all these things. And I was just like, that is crazy. But like, sometimes I do wish like I'm more like you, where it's like, you do get back. It's weird because you have to be careful.
You have to be so careful, and it's in certain circumstances that like those things can happen, and you have to remember the balance. Because at the end of the day, I will always say this: punch me anywhere, but just not my face. Like, please, not the face. This is the money maker.
True.
The rest of this, I could rock up to a gig,
especially a mouth.
Thank you, thank you. It does wonders.
God, that went into fucking deep homophobia stuff.
Totally.
But one thing I also through research, I know. Is it true that your friend used to secretly buy your makeup and give it to you? Oh my God,
yeah.
Yeah. So like, in that case, obviously your mum was the head teacher, or just, wait, was she a head teacher?
Head teacher, yeah.
Your mum was the head teacher. You didn't necessarily get loads of shit because of that. But what was your like family like? Like, what was your coming out like? What was your family supportive of you?
It's crazy because all my family they all come from like trade work.
Okay.
So like, not that kind of trade.
Yes, I know.
Not that kind of trade. Tradesmen, plasterers, electricians. But yeah, they were all very tradey. So meaning like very macho jobs.
Yeah.
And then I was the first in my family to like go, well, I'm going to do a creative job that's very different and very like away from them. And it's kind of crazy because it's one of those things that shows you that like, you can just go and do anything you want to do.
Oh yeah, completely.
And yes, your family can agree with it or if they don't agree with it. But as long as you as the individual are happy with what you do, that's all that matters.
Yeah. No, completely. And like, when you were younger, obviously you said that you've already gotten flack, but like, I'm guessing you were quite obviously fruity. What was like your...
What would give that away? How bloody dare you? Looking like this.
Hitting your little chain.
Like my little chain.
But yeah, what was your like coming out? I know it's such a typical question, but what was your coming out story?
Well, like I used to go to drama school. So it was like, it was obvious, that way. She did the pantos, she did the things, she did
You did pantos?
Yeah. Little like school pantos.
I never knew that about you.
Because like, I just loved being on stage. I loved that whole like, let's run around and be fun. And it was kind of the next step was like just admitting the honesty and being like, okay, I love cocks. I love cock.
And that's exactly what you said to your mum.
That's exactly what I said
love
to
you.
Mum.
I love cock.
I was like, Mum, I love cock.
How old were you?
No, I did not do that. I actually came out to my dad first.
Oh, okay.
And the story was, I was sat there, like, I came back from drama school that day and was feeling, like, extra fruity. Because when I went to drama school, I would dress like Kurt Hummel from Glee. So I'd always have, like, a strange hat on, a, like, fabulous jacket and, like, colourful trousers. I'd look like, I'd be asking to be hate crimes.
Yeah.
I was asking for it. And it was the vibes that, like, one day I just came home and I was painting my nails. I'd seen Mum's nail polish, started, like, painting my nails just for a joke, just for whatever. I was just trying it out. And then Dad goes, "Oh, why are you painting your nails? That's gay." And I went, "Well, I'm gay, so it doesn't matter."
Oh.
And then just, like, went back to painting the nails. And I remember, like, sitting there and being like, I can't believe I've just done that. That's insane. And my dad went, "Kirsty," my mother's name,
Yeah.
"Come through here. Connor just said something." And then I goes, "Yes, mother, I'm gay." And she goes, "Okay, fine." And then goes back to the
Yes,
kitchen.
That
And
is...
then, like, gets on with the dinner. Like, it was so, like, I remember sitting there for, like, 2 minutes and, like, no one said it and Dad was still watching TV and we're like, went, "Okay, I'm going to my room." And that was it.
That... I've obviously never heard that story, and I feel like that is, like, such a... Like, I've never heard anyone come out in just, like, a bit... Not a bitchy way, but, like, in, like, a response, like, a sarky response.
Yeah,
But I feel like if it was anyone, it was gonna be you.
thank you. I'll
How
take
old
that.
were you when that happened?
I was maybe, like, 15.
Oh, okay.
So, like, obviously it takes time to, like,
Course.
take that decision and, like, you know, it's a very, I think it's one of those decisions nowadays that is a lot easier. Whereas, like, I am 26. How did I get up the stairs? Wouldn't know. I'm 26. Because you're younger than me, which I always, like, forget in a way.
I'm the same, though, because, like, Zahira, out of the ones that were close with, is 30, and I always forget that.
It's crazy.
Like, it's
and
crazy.
she looks 14.
She literally, well, and she tastes 12. Oh my god, that is worse to say. Wait, no, I don't mean that.
So, for younger people, the point in the story is, for younger people, I feel it's easier nowadays because there's so much more you see in the media of people being out and being proud. But back in my day, it wasn't that. Like, the biggest coming out story, the biggest thing that, like, helped me was Tom Daley coming out.
How old were you when Tom Daley came out?
Like, 14, 15.
Oh, okay.
So it was that vibe that, like, if you think Tom Daley now knits blankets and has a baby and has a husband and lives in LA and has a fabulous faggot life, that's, like, there was a time where everyone was still a wee bit like, "Oh,
yeah.
let's watch that."
See, looking back at, like, when I came out, because I came out when I was, like, 12 or something like that. I don't really remember, like, if I had, like, anyone like that. But no, I totally agree. I think nowadays, even though, like, obviously in some ways, especially in, like, places like America, we're going backwards and whatnot, it is, like, a lot easier. And I think the reason for that is because of media. So, like, whenever people do say...
There's so much media and resources.
Whenever people, like, you know, the stragglers or whatever, love to say, like, "Oh, they shove it down our throats, blah, blah, blah. Why does it have to be this place everywhere, blah, blah." Well, first of all, straight people are everywhere. And second of all, it's because it makes it easier for people to come out and, like, it makes them feel more comfortable. But... God, I didn't expect to start so deep with you.
Well, I do get deep.
So obviously I know that you've stated that, you know, you've always loved kind of like performing and all that, and obviously you are a sewer.
Yes.
So how did, like, you get into sewing and construction and all that?
It was crazy. So I was placed in a wee bit of a funny way where I was like, okay, always knew, now, this is bad.
Oh God.
You shouldn't be a drag queen who watches RuPaul's Drag Race and thinks, "I want to do drag," but sometimes that's what happens.
Oh yeah, no, completely.
And I am a product of watching RuPaul's Drag Race and going, "I want to do drag." Now, quite fabulous to watch. I first started watching season 6 of US.
That is so weird. I feel like, sorry to cut you.
Go for it.
I feel like it's just so weird because I feel like, who else is that? I think it might be Zahira or someone I know, probably from our season, also started on season 6. I started on season 6. So it's like, it's just such a weird thing that so many people started watching US season 6, which was one of the best, and then started drag. Sorry to cut across.
But that is precisely it. I went, okay, love this. And then I looked at the board of, like, okay, realistically, if you wanted to do drag, how would you, like, how could you kind of learn how to do it without doing it? Because I was, like, 15 at the time, so obviously couldn't go to clubs, couldn't start doing, I was like, okay. And still a little bit like, I didn't want to tell my mum and dad that like I wanted to start doing drag.
Oh yeah, that's like a second coming
crazy.
out.
That's a second coming out. That was a couple of years later. But I looked and I was like, okay, well, I could learn how to make costumes because obviously as a drag queen, you need costumes. So to learn how to make costumes, I went to college for it. So I was like, I went to college for fashion. Then that taught me how to make clothes. And then from there, making clothes just turned into making drag outfits for Chanel.
That's like mad because, and again, obviously like we have like a somewhat of a personal relationship and obviously we're on the same season, but I never knew that you started sewing because of drag.
Totally.
Like I never knew that.
Totally.
So like when you went into college and everything for it, was that something, for example, if you drag didn't go the way you wanted to, or you didn't really get on Drag Race, for example, is that something that you probably would have wanted to do in future for drag queens and people that aren't queens?
Yeah, it's very much the vibe that like, I believe this in life. I think you need to have a plan at B, C, and D.
Yes.
I think everyone should follow your dreams, kids. Follow your dreams. But sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes
Oh no, completely.
work. So I don't really think nowadays you can put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
And for me, I learned, okay, I have this skill. Let's make sure that then there's other things in the pipeworks that's behind me to say like, okay, if drag doesn't work that month, then what else is going to pay the bills?
Yeah.
You know, I think you have to have a balance because for you, like before Drag Race, you were doing like drag and like working in a shop and doing this running around, and you find that is, I'm still doing that now, is doing a bit of everything because that's the way I like it. I like wearing several hats.
No, fully, because like like you said, before Drag Race, I did a day job and then I did drag. Now my main income, like my main job is drag. So I think like, it's a weird thing because very much like you, I'm in a sense of like, sometimes, you know, I'm not always going to be in drag doing gigs, but I want to be doing something.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I kind of wanted to do this. So like, even though sometimes I do need to learn how to relax and let myself breathe, I always kind of want to be doing something. So in 2020, is that when you came out with your, I don't know, came out, is that the right word? Came out with your company?
Started,
yes. Is that when you started
empire.
your company, business, empire,
All
Get
of
Frocked
that.
UK? Is that when you started?
It's crazy. My favorite thing nowadays is because I was Get Frocked for a wee while.
Yes.
And then people didn't know I was Chanel and Get Frocked. And then people, like Zahara was like, I didn't know you did both.
I didn't know, when I got on Drag Race with you, I obviously knew of you, but I knew of Get Frocked. Get Frocked. Yeah, Get Frocked. And I just didn't know it was you.
It was quite fun. Because that's the thing of wearing several hats. Sometimes when the hats combine, you get a fun little surprise.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. And my vibe was like, once again, it's using the skills that you have in another life and bringing it to your, it's all about business and what you can bring forward. Like, I know there's certain things that I'm not good at. Like, I'm not good on a computer. I'm not good at like physical, like writing things down.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like, if I'm sat there in a room having to make something, no bother at all.
See, like, I just, like, I've tried to say before.
But you're a dancer.
Yeah.
You are a performer through and through, like, and that's absolutely fine because I couldn't, this is the beauty of Drag Race. It teaches you, like, you put these 12 people in a room, but the magic is no one in that room can do the same job.
Oh no, completely. Like,
we all represent ourselves.
Yeah, and I feel like we can all like try learn. Like, for example, I know that you do sewing lessons, which I will speak about. But like, I can obviously learn how to sew, but everything takes time and practice, I feel. So with sewing, what made you want to start teaching more people?
You know, it is the fact of, it's something I've always wanted to do, and I always believe that like, it's fun to like learn, but also it's fun to give back.
Yeah.
My mother's a teacher, so obviously I've got the natural like teacher in me, and I love it. It's a moment where you can tell people what to do and they listen to you and they can't say anything else. It's brilliant. It's like my little North Korea.
What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, it's like I'm the dictator, they listen to me, they do the work. It's fabulous.
What's that got to do with North Korea?
But like, he's a dictator.
Who?
North Korea. Or is it South Korea?
That's a country, isn't it? Exactly. Not a person.
But that's what he does in Kim Jong-un. Oh my God.
But, so when you did start Get Frocked, that's like a similar time where you did most of Lawrence's package for season 2, isn't it?
Yes.
When it comes to doing that package, do you think that doing it a lot for Lawrence kind of helped prepare you for doing it yourself for season 6?
You know, for when I made my package for season 6 compared to Lawrence's, there was so many different things. I am an individual who struggles to like design myself a wee bit.
Yeah.
I enjoy when someone else brings me something and I make it and I just do that. So there was definitely like a difference between like with Lawrence, they had such a like complex package, whereas
Yeah.
I, for a lot of my runways, kept things simpler because I knew I had to make so much of it.
Of course.
And also, like, it's very different to like, okay, you know yourself, like, yeah, if you were to sit there and go, your only task is to make everything, that'd be easy. Whereas,
yeah.
like, you're making things, but also you're learning things, you're watching things, you're teaching yourself, you're trying to figure things out. When you're preparing your own package, it is a completely different story.
No, fully, because obviously I did not make my own package, but I was with Roger, which did most of mine.
Mm-hmm.
So like you said, there's so much more that you have to like learn. Not only that, you have to like try get yourself into a mental position where you're like ready to go. You have to like remember like, oh yeah, I'm not all these people that have helped me. You're not going to be around them. So like, yeah, it's very crazy.
It was crazy because I did the same thing of being around so many people who were helping me.
Yeah.
Doing wigs, doing this, sewing that, stoning this, because I hate stoning. So I would be giving it to other people. And then you walk away from it and you have to remember, God, I'm going to be alone and I have to do it by myself. And I actually think it's the most bizarre mental switch that you have to do is going from seeing everyone in your life who's ever supported you and your closest and nearest dearest, because you tell them you're on because you trust them. So it's your nearest and dearest that are helping you during this process. Then suddenly, blip, you don't have them. And you have to be in that headspace in that game, which is crazy.
No, it's awful. Like, if you're watching this, you probably have consumed so much Drag Race content. But so many people say it. Every queen that's been on the show says it. But it's so like hard and it's such a weird thing to put yourself in.
We went to prison.
Yeah, it's like, it literally is like a
drag prison where we were literally like told, we were brought out into the courtyard and RuPaul would be like in a big megaphone, right, convicts, inmates, get ready for this. Give us a challenge when we have to do it.
Well, when you auditioned for season 6, I know that you've auditioned a few times prior. How many times did you audition?
So I've auditioned 4 times.
Okay.
But 5 times.
Okay.
Done 4 tapes.
Okay.
4 tapes, 5 auditions.
Okay. And do you feel like, I know it's such like a typical cliche thing to say, but I'm a personal believer that most of the time that everything does happen for a reason. Do you feel like season 6 was the right, like you got on at the right time?
Absolutely.
Why is that?
Because I think in life's a journey.
Yes,
life's a journey.
It is.
And there's certain points in your life, I believe, that you have to have these moments where you prove yourself as an individual and you prove like, okay, this is, we've been trying for the exam for a while.
Oh yeah.
We've been studying, revising. Now it's our time to test our skills.
Some of us more than others. I'm joking. So how was your overall experience of Drag Race?
Do you know, it's a fabulous experience when you're in it. You know, I would love, my favorite days was when we were not on set.
Oh yeah.
My favorite times was like being back at the hotel, being on the bus, being like, see, when you're on set, the intensity really hits you in certain ways. Because it's like, every moment you're there is counted, it matters, it like is, so you couldn't really take a break. So I loved it for what it was, but like at that moment, it took me a very long time to learn to love it. Yeah. Because like there was, let's be real, I was like totally the butt of every joke. The one that they'd be like, wah, Chanel. And after a while, like, I remember it's hard when you then have to watch it all over again. Completely. Because you sort of deal with the trauma there, then have to rewatch it to these people who you think you're close with. And you go, oh God, you hated me during that time, didn't you? And they go, yeah, I did hate you.
It's really weird because, like, I remember when we were there,
because we were next door neighbors. She was literally, her workstation was next to mine.
Like, I remember we weren't necessarily, like, we weren't half as close as we are now on the show. But, like, it is just so weird how, like, things change, dynamics between queens on the show changes when it's, like, done and blah, blah, blah. But, like, and obviously, I think it's fair to say that out of season 6, if it was anyone, you were the villain. but going into the season, was that ever, like, anything that you went in there, like, trying to do? Was that something that you expected, or was it just...
It was never my intention to kind of go in there and ruffle feathers. It's crazy. It's crazy. When I'm around all my friends, I am bluntly honest. Oh, yeah. It is just like a thing of mine of like, so if we're in situations and just if I'm not happy or if I'm not feeling something, I'll just tell them. I go,
oh no, you're completely
shit. Like, this looks shit. Come on, what are we doing? Like, let's Come on.
Like, you're so direct, and I think even for me, like, sometimes when I'm in social situations with you now, and you are such that direct person, I am like, God, I wish I could be more like that. Like,
But
sometimes I wish I was less of a people pleaser, and I feel like you're just you'll just say it as it is.
it's a blessing and a curse because, like, yes, you can be straightforward, but you have to do it in a certain. And I've learned that is like, yes, it's fun to be straightforward,
Yeah.
but you need to do it in a way that's like, oh my god, I love your jewelry, but also move out of my way. Like,
Yeah,
there
yeah.
needs to be a balance.
Yeah.
But no, I never walked in there with the intention of it, and it was funny because when I came home and I told everyone the stories of like, I did this, I said this, people were like this, I made a girl cry, someone walked out the workroom because of me. Everyone was like, how? How did you manage to do that? I was like, I don't know. I literally don't know. And I think it's just the pressure. When
Yeah.
you're there, you get so involved and invested. And part of, like, there was a little part of me that was just like, fuck these people, fuck these hoes.
Well, I remember when we were speaking after the show, I remember you saying to me something along the lines of like, you don't know why, but whenever you like, I don't know if it was like a joke, but you said something like, whenever you got on the bus that day ready to set, you would just choose someone and be like, right, I'm gonna like, like, and I literally remember you telling me like, yeah, I remember just being sat on the bus and just being like, if something isn't right with my breakfast order, whatever, you just think, I'm gonna get this person today. Like, but it's funny that you mentioned you obviously had like a good time filming Drag Race. Did you have a different experience watching it? Like, did you prefer filming it or did you prefer watching it?
So once you see how the clock is wound,
Oh yeah,
the way that you look at it is completely different. So now, like, seeing from behind the camera, you do look at it completely differently. And yes, it does spoil.
yeah.
There's no Santa Claus, kids. It's just it spoils the magic.
Yeah.
But in the same breath, like, it's an honor to be a part of the very, very few individuals that get to see it.
Oh yeah,
Get
completely.
to be a part of it. And no matter what, like, I enjoyed my experience. It's beautiful to have the title. My God, it's just a title that weighs heavy on the shoulders. But I would not change it for the world. And there's no point also thinking about the experience and being like, oh my God, I wish I did this differently. I wish I did that. It is a waste of time to wish different.
Well, no, well, I was just about to ask you my next question. Like, did you have any regrets? But I'm guessing from what you just said now.
You have to, like, yes, there are regrets
Yeah.
of like, oh my God, I wish I maybe like focused a bit more in the beginning and had a bit more prep when it came to like get my outfits together. Because the crazy thing was, I wanted this thing of I wanted to prepare it on myself as much as possible. Meaning, when I got back to the hotel after like we'd done full days, I'd be like, okay, 4 more hours of sewing, and I would be sewing. I'd be making, and that's stupid because
I think
you have to allow yourself to rest.
No, fully. And I think like watching Drag Race now, like sometimes I feel like it's so easy. And I feel like everybody does it. Even like we still probably do it watching Drag Race. It's like, why did she do that? Why did she wear that? Or why does she look like that? Or blah, blah, blah. But I feel like you don't know until you're in that moment why you do these stupid, like situation. Like you're in these weird situations and it's like, oh yeah, maybe she doesn't know those words because she physically like didn't have the time to or whatever.
Totally.
Like it's not always like, it is such a fast pace. Like,
and it's not easy for you to turn around and go, well, I do this. My favorite thing is like, I've had people being like, I can't believe you did that. Well, and you did it like this. And I'm like, well, when you get on Drag Race,
literally,
you can do it differently.
And also, mostly the people that say that are just like, they don't do drag.
Oh no.
And I like, people can say what they want, but like when someone that doesn't do drag like says this and this about like performing or your makeup or blah, 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 it's like, babe, you don't do any of it. So it's like, how can you judge? And I understand the whole thing of like, I might not be a chef, but like I can say that I don't like this food. That's fair enough. You don't do drag. You can like what you want on dislike what you want, but do not try to tell someone how to do it if you don't even do it yourself.
And that is one thing you have to always remember with like when it comes to Drag Race and it comes to us, we're real people.
Oh yeah, completely.
And this is our art. This is our passion.
Yeah.
So like it was really difficult to watch like shows and like comments and hear these things of people like roasting your runways and I'd be like, you guys are assholes.
No, literally.
But you just it's a product of itself.
Yeah. Well, it's a typical question. I feel like every interviewer asks. But would you go back if you got offered the chance?
I would, but I would play the game very, very differently. I think I walked in there. Now, if the opportunity arises that you get to come back, sometimes it's a point for you to maybe like try something new and try to better yourself from the last time you go on. I think I'd try and worsen myself.
What do you mean?
I think I'd go on and just fart constantly and just be like, make the place toxic.
Oh my
And
god.
just make everyone have a miserable time. Like scream, like, because that's how Kieran won. Because she stank,
Yeah.
she screamed in the mornings, she pissed us all off. You know, she did all these tactical things. Because she's quite tactical, our Kieran. I think you have to be built to win it. Whereas I knew when Kieran walked in, Lavoie walked in, and when Dita walked in, I went, I'm not winning this.
Yeah, it's such a funny thing. Like, I'm a really big believer.
Dita was a joke, by the way. But anyway.
Well, to be fair, I thought you weren't joking because I know a lot of people, when Dita walked in, didn't know what to expect of
Yeah.
her. But, like, I think when it comes to Drag Race, I really do agree when a lot of people say, like, if you're not going into Drag Race to win, why do you bother? I totally agree with that, and I totally understand where that comes from. But also, it's like, I personally didn't go into Drag Race expecting to win.
Yeah.
Like, I obviously, if I would have won it, that would have been amazing. But it's like, it's the experience. It's like, you've never done it before. You just want to get on it for like the exposure, just to meet RuPaul, be on set, blah, blah, blah. So I feel like it's such a, it's just a crazy thing. So I feel like I would be the same. I'd be like, I'd want to go in there and like play the game a little bit more.
Yeah, you can play the game, you can have fun with it. And also, like, my favorite thing that's came from it is the friendships and the connections.
Oh yeah, completely.
Because this is the thing, like, I knew who you were before.
Yeah.
Going on Drag Race, but I'd never given you the chance to be like, or us the chance to like get to know each other. Because I was like, oh, they were with Roger and that. I don't really know that kind of group, so I'm over here on this side. Whereas like nowadays, life is so much better just giving people that little bit of,
no, it fully is.
These are my sisters.
Like, I think with season 6, what was such a funny thing was, I feel like a lot of us knew who was going to be there, but I didn't really hear that you were on, or a rumor that you were on, up until maybe like literally a day or two before. And I remember seeing you there. I
kept it tight.
And I just remember seeing you then. I remember being like, oh my god. And then more Manchester Girls came in, and I was like, this is like such a fun group of people. It was a
Canal Street meetup.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
And it's so funny because I just feel like it's so funny how like there was 5 or 6 Manchester Girls, and then none of us were originally from Manchester.
Yep.
None of us. Because from what I learned...
I think Lil's the only one that is like...
Well, from what I learned from my research, Lil's not from Manchester.
No.
She's from St. Helens. So, like, none of us were from Manchester, which is crazy. So it's coming to the end, but two segments that I do like to play is...
Okay. Are we going to taste yogurt?
No, we're not going to taste yogurt.
Right, okay.
Do not worry.
Because you know what's crazy? I don't vibe with yogurt.
Do you not?
It's so fucking weird.
Why?
Because it's like, it's one of those things that it's such a straight... I just imagine babies eating it, and I'm not a baby anymore. So I always see yogurt as quite a like... yeah, I've grown. I see yogurt as quite a like a...
I was going to say, what's your favourite yogurt? But like, do you have one then, if you're not really keen on that?
If you put a gun to my head, I'd say Frutella. But then I also think that's quite a baby thing.
Frutella? That's so sweet.
Is it? Then I don't know. Fribs! Gun to head, Fribs.
Oh my god. I mean, to be fair, yeah, because you have to give it a stroke. So I'm not surprised that you might think. But no, one of these segments / games I like to play is Flirt, Fight, or Forget. Have you ever played it?
Wow. No, but
basically,
I have played Stab, Arson, and Divorce.
Well,
Is that
never
close?
played that. Yeah, but yeah, typically, yeah. So I've chosen 3 people from the cast of season 6. So I need you to tell me. So the first one is Marmalade, Lavoie, or Relisa.
Stab. What was the options again?
So it was Flirt, Fight, Forget.
I would flirt with Relisa.
Okay.
Because straight up, Miss Relisa. See, when you get sent home by Relisa, because you're not part of the group.
I'm not.
Me, Chara, and Lil all being sent home by Relisa. It's quite a intense moment.
Yeah.
And I just feel like we deserve a little bit more flirting time. And then anytime I see her, she's just so like, how you doing?
No, Relisa is like such a, like, I don't know if this is the right thing, but like she's such like a sexual presence. Like, not that she's a sexual person.
She's not a slut, but she knows, but she speaks our language.
Yeah. She just knows what she's doing. And like, obviously on the show, I was lucky enough to have been fancied by her. But like, even when I see her now, I'm like, I don't know what I would do with you if I got the chance, because she would like eat me alive.
That's the fear. That's the fear.
That's
the fear. So I'd say flirt with her, because you never know. You never know where it could go. I would say fight with Marmalade.
Okay.
Because we've done it before. We
Fair
can do it again. And forget the other one.
Oh, any
What's
reason?
her name?
Any reason for that?
What's her name? No, just because it's the vibes. There are the three options.
Fair enough. So the next one is Spoonful of Truth, which is basically just quick fire rapid questions. Some of them are shady. And yeah, just give them a quick little answer. So the first one is, who surprised you the most in the competition?
Honestly, it'd be Chara.
Why Chara?
Because it's like, well, obviously her cabaret was not cabaret. So my view of Chara, because I'd never seen who Chara was before the show. So when I saw her, I was like, okay. Also, one of my skills is I can smell weakness.
Okay.
I can smell blood in the water. So I was like, so see, after that, I was like, if I just get her.
And get her you did.
And get her I did. Then maybe that could, but then my favourite thing was she got further than me and she destroyed Snatch Game. And that was a moment where I saw her and was like, because I didn't work with her girl group. I didn't work with her for, do you know what I mean? So I didn't get to see her that much apart from the couch.
Yeah.
And, apart from the talk show challenge. And then when it came to Snatch Game, that's when I saw her really shine because she's really funny. She's such a like...
Oh yeah, she's very quick, very witty. Like that's something I'm like, I can never shade at all because she's much better at that than I am.
But then you're a much better dancer, so yin and yang, yin and yang.
Much better makeup artist, much better looks. I don't have to take my aesthetic from the CBeebies. Anyway, so the next one is, do you still... Oh, hang on. My next question is, do you still think Marmalade only chimed in 10% in the sewing challenge?
I'd say 15 now.
Okay, what's up that 5%?
No, it's one of those things that like, sometimes you say things in moments, and the way that my brain works is, like, I sometimes just say things without even thinking of it. And I pulled that number up my head. I was like, you gave 10%. Just to be like, just my brain was so in whack that moment. And I think that's the thing with Drag Race is like, it really tests you as a person.
Completely.
And how your composure is, because you can sit there and be tired and be over and starving and exhausted from the day and also pissed off, and then they say something like that and they do a little twist and a little pull and they go, "How you feeling?" And I go, do you want to know how I'm feeling? Do you want to know how I'm feeling?
I just love that you were never like I said earlier, you were just never not direct about it. And it just made such, whether you tried to or not, it just made such good fucking TV. It was so good. So the next one I have is, out of the cast, who do you not speak to / speak to the least?
Oh, it's difficult. We all live our lives. We all run around this world and do different things. And there is people in your life that you see all the time. I'm very bad at communicating. So I will take my part in that. And unless you're in my like circles, so I'm close with all the Manchester girls, which is fine. Zahira's one of them.
Yeah.
And then like, as it goes further afield, it's more difficult to stay in touch. So like Lavoie is an individual that I don't really speak to that often, just because we're sailing ships in the night. Like we don't see each other.
And Lavoie's working ships in the night.
And Lavoie is working on ships in the night. And I don't work on ships, I work on trains. So unless she's going to be performing in a cabaret train anytime soon, then I'm not going to be able to see her, I'm afraid.
Moving on from the game just for 1 second, actually, there is a question I want to ask you. Your whole character is being like a rich woman, but most importantly, Austrian. Where's that coming from? So for any of you that don't know, Chanel is an Austrian woman. Yeah. But it's so funny because I remember when you got eliminated, you put something on the mirror and we were all like mentioning something from Austria.
So I wrote in the mirror, it was like, from Austria with love.
Yeah, and we were all like, what?
Chanel O'Connor. And everyone was like, Austria? Like, no one could like...
No.
And I remember that was the one thing that when I came back for the finale, everyone was like, you're Austrian? Like, everyone was really, really confused. Because it's one of those things. So Chanel is at least, I want to say about 2,000 years old.
Okay.
So she's lived many, many lives, but for a long, long, long time, she was in Austria. And that's where she like gained her like royal privileges. That's where she met like the mafias of Europe. That's where a lot of her money and her estates come from.
Right.
And her knowledge, she doesn't speak a word of European languages because everyone understands Chanel. Yeah, that's it. You walk into the room, you need to know Chanel. That's the rule. Now, it just became a bit. And I am a bit.
One thing you are so good at is like just telling a story, but or like just talking about, like I could give you an object and I'd just be like, talk about it and make a story about it. And you'd be like, you could be there for like an hour if you wanted to.
Easy.
You're so good at it.
Easy.
But yeah, I was just very curious because it was a question I wanted to ask. But back to...
But to finish that...
Yeah, sorry.
I actually... And then I never kind of talked about it on the show. It never came up. So then in that
So
moment
funny.
of me writing Austrian, confusion all around. And I loved it.
It was so funny because we were all just like, what the fuck is she talking about? I mean, we were like that most of the season. But
Yeah.
So the next question is, before the last, what is one of your drag icks?
Drag X would be no jewelry.
Fair.
See, love
See,
the earrings.
I'm good at that. My
the
drag
earrings.
ick is like no earrings. I feel
No
like what's the point
earrings.
getting in drag if you're not going to put an earring in?
It's so simple and it's so like...
Literally.
All it is it frames the face. Just those little... It's styling. It's kind of bringing a whole outfit together and knowing like, okay, well, if I'm wearing this and the shoes and the tie, and then making sure we're finishing everything off. It's the finishing touches and the fluorescence that give it that next level. Because nowadays, I don't even wear nails. I paint my nails because I do a lot. I do a lot of stuff with these. So we have to keep the nails free.
I can't even paint my nails because I'm such a bad, awful, terrible nail biter. So I have like
but
nothing.
then I love it. I love a fierce little nail.
But like I never used to wear nails before Drag Race, but now like I'm like, oh, I love a nail.
She's a nail
I love
girl.
doing like because I've started doing more ballads and shit, and I just love doing the grab. You know, like I love doing a little grab twist, whatever it's called.
Grab the camera.
So my last question is, since this is called The Spoonful, if you could only eat spoonfuls of one food for the rest of your life, what would that be?
Waffles.
As in sweet waffles or like potato waffles?
No dressings.
Okay.
No dressings.
No.
It's just
that.
like
just that one thing.
Yeah. Sweet waffles, like...
Oh, that's fair. I mean, if you were going to say potato waffles, I'd be like, nah. Like, that can be left out the full English.
But do you know what I mean? Like
a sweet waffle.
A sweet waffle. You could have a waffle breakfast. My teeth would be green.
It's fine.
But, like, I would imagine in this fake world, we could have spoonfuls of toothpaste occasionally.
Yeah, of course.
Just like,
yeah.
That sounds good.
So, toothpaste and waffles, that's lovely.
Toothpaste and waffles, please.
Well, we have come to the end, but before we do go, I just want to ask, where can everyone find you? And also, do you have anything that you want to plug for the future?
You can find me in prison because after this, I'm going to get picked up. I just know I am. I've got that feeling like I keep watching.
Yeah, of course.
Who's out there? No, you can find me on social media at Chanel O'Connor. Now, obviously, I'm here in boy mode because I believe in life. You need to have a balance.
I believe
you can
in
look
life.
like her or you can look like me. And that's okay. Because, listen, that's life.
Yeah. Anything you want to plug for the future or anything you've got coming out you're working on?
Obviously, I am a sewing teacher to the stars. I will be having Actavia for a little one-to-one session, which would be lovely. But that's my vibe. I love to sew. I love to teach. I love to get on with that because I think there's time for everyone. But you know what you need to have time for? Yourself.
Oh! Get that on a fucking t-shirt.
Thank
you so much for coming to my little thingy-jiggy. Thank you everyone so much for watching another episode of The Spoonful. Please do not forget to subscribe, hit the like button and leave a comment down below. Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.